All right, I'm gonna do a quick Q&A. I can't think of anything to make a video about. Um, so I'm just gonna rip through these questions and give you some answers on my 12K per month SaaS. Um, and this guy, Domin Dom Domenico, I think I said that right, Domenico. It's just sounded out. Okay. Um, did you feel unsure or like you didn't know what you were doing when you started, and how did you overcome that? Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of comes in waves. So like there'll be a lot of times where I feel like fuck yeah, dude, I'm on the right path. I'm like killing it. And then a lot of the times too, I'll be like I'm such a fucking idiot, like, this is never going to work, blah blah blah. Um I think at the start I really had this feeling a lot, like I knew what I was doing. And that's kind of faded, but I don't know. I saw this amazing LinkedIn post. There's this really, really good guy to follow. I forgot his name, but it's how do I find my? Okay, there we go. Saved items. Um, Cocksucker. Hang on. Okay, his name is Mark Randolph. So he was like a co-founder of Netflix, and this is something he said. This is like a really good post. The thing is, I just always believed things would succeed. Um, Yeah, and so I think this is kind of an important quality to have, is just belief in things working out. And I'm trying to work on this too, is like just kind of having that belief regardless, because yeah, you will hit doubt and there's really no like, silver bullet to solving it, but I guess if there's anything, that would probably be it. Um how did you come up with the idea? Well, I used to run an agency. Um and actually I have a video, I think it was called like I hit 12K a month or something like that, where I was talking about my kind of product and how I came up with the idea. But basically, I used to run a marketing agency and I knew some of the problems they had, and so I thought I could build a product to solve them. Um, Legal and compliance side, well, a while ago, I founded an LLC, and so I just found like a registered agent. They created a LLC. I don't have any like legal insurance. I guess don't sue me. But yeah, I don't really worry about lawsuits, partly because I'm not dealing with enough money for it really to be like, you know, um, worthy of a lawsuit. And the worst you're really going to see is like a Stripe chargeback, which chargebacks do suck. I haven't had any yet with this project, but um, yeah, I mean, like that's probably your biggest worry. Um, how did you know there was enough space in the market? Well, I got kind of lucky because I was in a space where there was very little competition. And I didn't know of any products that actually solved the problem comprehensively in the way I wanted to. And so, because of that, I knew that there was an opening. And, competition is oftentimes a good sign. Dude, my phone is fucking. Why did sleep mode get turned off? Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, competition is a good sign, but I just knew there was kind of a gap there, but I guess you never really know how big the gap is until you go into it. How much time did you invest before seeing any success, and how did you stay motivated during that period? Well, and these questions are probably answered better by that first video I made. Um, but yeah, I mean, I dropped out of college 2 years in, and then I started a YouTube channel. Did that for like 3 months maybe, and then I started a business where I was like, at first I built websites, and then I was like doing marketing. And I did that for like 2 years combined, probably. And that was really tough. I didn't see very much success at all through that. Enough to like kind of pay my bills and move to an apartment, but I'm back home now because moving to an apartment was kind of a dumb idea. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, I think it takes a while to see success. It's like we'll talk about it a little bit later, but yeah, I mean it's a slow process. Like I remember, um, when I was first starting out on entrepreneurship, I was like, bro, I see the YouTube videos, like these guys go from not to 60 in like, 3 months. I'm going to do that too. And I think there are outliers, and obviously there's a lot of survivorship bias where like those are the people that get the videos made about them. But in most people's cases, I think it's going to take you like a few years, really, which you probably don't want to hear. But that's just kind of how it goes. And if you have experience with building, and like there are people who just kind of grow up and they have like skills already that they can draw on, and they only have to build a few more skills. But yeah, in most cases, it's going to take a while. Um, and how I stayed motivated was, well, I dropped out of college partly, and also I just really wanted it. You know, I felt like and I still feel like, dude, there's this account, The Art of Mondays, and yeah, I don't know. I saw like another video that was way better where they had like some. Yeah, you gotta get hippie sabotage. I like see these videos and I'll be like, bro, I could have this life. And I was like, building a business is the only way to get here. And so um, I really wanted it. To me, there was no other option. There still isn't any other option. And I think it is hard to build anything really significant without some kind of drive like that. Yeah. Do you think a B2C product would be easier to start, even though it requires more users? It seems like the sales process might be more straightforward. So B2C, business to consumer. I do B2B, business to business sales. B2C, I think, is really hard, primarily for one reason, which is the ticket price. So my product, I charge my cheapest product, I think, is like $17 a month. Most of them are around like $50 a month, and then my most expensive product is like $300 to $500 a month. And with B2C, I have a really good example because I was showing my mom this app, which is this like health app for like an Apple Watch, and it kind of tells you like some stuff about. Basically, I just look at these things that are like resting heart rate, respiratory rate, heart rate variability, and I was like, "Mom, isn't this app so sick?" And she was like, "Yeah, does it cost money?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's $4 a month." And she was like, "Geez," something along those lines. Um, and I was like, right there, that's why B2C is so hard, because $4 a month seems like a lot. People were pissed when Netflix went from like $10 a month to $15 a month, um, or $12 a month. Literally, it went up like 20%, like $2 a month, and people were like ready to fucking burn down the headquarters or whatever. And yeah, I think that's kind of why B2C is really hard, just because people don't want to pay a lot of money, and it's just way harder. Like if you watch any of Alex Hormozy's stuff, he always, talks about the value of B2B. And yeah, I mean, like running ads for B2C is so hard because you're still going to pay, I guess, your CPM, how much it costs to run your ads, are going to be lower for B2C, but still, your cost of acquiring a customer, you're probably going to go in the negative to acquire a customer through paid ads, which for the best businesses, you can acquire customers profitably, which means you can just scale ads as quickly as you can, build out the product to support those customers. So yeah, I mean, B2B is just a lot easier because you can charge more. This is another Hormozy thing. I don't know if he's the originator of this kind of maxim, but it's basically, um, what is it exactly? It's like basically sell to rich people. The easiest, like, best life hack for business is just sell to people with money. And there's like an anecdote where it's someone who's building a software, and it's like a software to help you apply to jobs. I think this was even before AI, but it would kind of like help you find, job listings um, that fit you, and then like, help you apply to them. And it was kind of a scratch your own itch type of idea. Like it seemed like a good idea, but he found it really hard to make sales, and he was like, "Oh, I'm literally selling to people who don't have jobs. They're completely fucking broke a lot of the times, and so they don't want to pay any money." And it's just business on hard mode. Like literally, B2B is like the what do you call it? Like the little leagues or something? Not little league. That's like for kids, but it's like amateur or something because they have baseball. Where I'm here, they have like the Rainiers or something, I think they're called, and then they have the Mariners, which are like pro, and then they have like the league below. B2B is like you're playing, and then the best companies are the ones who are like B2C. Like those are all the household names: Tesla, Netflix, Apple, blah blah blah. They're all B2C companies, but B2B is kind of where you start out most of the time. It's just way easier. And the sales process, I mean, the nice thing about B2B is you can get on a sales call, and after that call, you might add $100 to your MRR. Whereas with B2C, you probably, especially in the early days, still might have to hop on a sales call. I mean, firstly, B2C customers probably won't even have to want to hop on a sales call, which means you're going to have to sell them through the website alone, which is very, very hard. Like, you need a lot of traffic, you need to have a really good website, you need to have credibility. Like, that, I guess we'll talk about that a little later, but that's very difficult to do. So I would say B2B is the way to go. Everyone wants to go B2C. It's just what you're used to, but I would say B2B is the way to go. Um, did you need a large upfront investment? How long did it take before your business became profitable? I was profitable from day one. I do all the development. I mean, I pay for like Cursor and shit, but Vercel is inexpensive. It's like $20 a month if you pay for Pro. I don't know what that gets you, but um, then the database was free to start out. Like all these hosting tools are free to start out. So Cursor is the only thing that really costs money. You can use it for free, I guess, but um, yeah, I mean, if you're in the B2B world, like $100 burn rate for like Vercel Pro and Cursor Pro and shit, it's like nothing. Um, and so I didn't spend anything up front. In fact, before I really built out the product, a I started taking money from customers, uh, basically on the promise that I would deliver the product and they would get a discount when it was out. And yeah, it's been profitable since then. How did you find and approach your first customers? So I guess I have two kind of businesses. One is this, which is just plugins for high level. This probably makes me actually probably like half of the revenue. And then the thing I'm really focused on right now is Streamlined, which is kind of an analytics tool for high level. And so for these apps, I was just making YouTube videos. These were kind of like meant to be like lead magnets, and I just ended up putting a price on them because someone told me it's a good idea, which hats off to that guy. Holy shit. I don't remember who that was, but goat. But yeah, so for this tool, I already had like a few people that I knew who had either installed like my previous apps, or I just kind of knew through like agency connections. And I reached out to those people and I said, "Hey, would you be interested if I built this product? Um, can I ask you some questions on a call?" And so that was kind of how I found those first people. But I would say like if I didn't know anyone who wanted to get on a call, I would have probably started DMing people who used like high level, like the CRM I'm building for, um, or who are in a group relating to the thing I'm building for, and just been like, "Hey, do you, like, do you have this problem? Can I ask you some questions? I'm trying to work on a solution," something like that. Then, what skills do you think are essential for starting a business like yours? Um, I would say, I mean, I think it's Naval who said, if you can build and you can sell, then you're fucking good. Something along those lines. Um, I would say those are really the fundamental ones. So, firstly, selling is the main thing because you got to like basically talk to those people, kind of get them sold on the idea, and ideally collect some cash up front um, to kind of help you validate. And yeah, for that, I mean, I'm not very good at sales, but um, I would say kind of trying to take it a little bit seriously is like a good start, and just try to understand like how a sales conversation should work. And yeah, I would say that's pretty good. Um, and then for marketing, I think marketing's a good skill to have. Just kind of like writing good headlines and hooks and kind of the structure of copy. It doesn't have to be like super deep or anything. Like you'll kind of expand your skills as you need, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would say like if you can sell, like there's so many businesses that are built on basically fucking nothing as far as the product goes, and then they just sell the shit out of it, and it works for them. So you could do that. I don't like that approach, but that works. So I would say sales and marketing are kind of the most important skills, and those are kind of like soft skills. You know, there is like copywriting, there is being able to like run ads or make YouTube videos, like feeling comfortable on camera or feeling comfortable with writing copy. Um, although I don't know, I mean, I didn't like go out and like learn any of these skills. Like I didn't like go like, okay, I need to build this business. What skills do I need? And then spend like 3 months just taking like courses. I just kind of grew them as I needed, and I think that's a really good way to go about it. I know some people who prefer to kind of take courses, but I'm more of a like learn it as I go type person. Um, so I guess it depends on your personality type, but that's personally what's worked for me. Um, and then how many hours do you typically work per week? Do you ever manage to take a holiday? Uh, yeah, so hours of work per week is kind of a weird metric because I do. I mean, this is what my calendar looks like. So I usually wake up around like 8 or 9, something like that. And I usually go to bed around like 11 or 12. And I try to block out like all the tasks I do so I can look back on it and it just helps me stay focused. And what you'll see is it's not actually that much work. Like this looks like a pretty productive day. So let's see, we had 4.5 hours here, and then it was a nap here, 45 minutes. So we're up to 5:15, plus an hour here, 6:15. Oh, 6:45, and then what is that? 9 hours today or this day. So yeah, I guess like a productive day would be like 9 hours, like a really good day. Today was, I guess, much less than that. So like, yeah, I don't know. I guess like 7, 8 hours. Um, but yeah, you're not gonna be. Um, I don't really have a life outside of my business, so right now I'm very focused on trying to build this out. The plan is I want to move to Bali um, at the end of the year, or maybe not Bali immediately because I've heard that's kind of the shitty season to be there, but probably like fucking Europe somewhere. Uh, and so when I start doing that, then I'll probably take more time off. But for now, I'm very focused on trying to build this product up, trying to build up my revenue, and just build a sustainable business. And so I think your work can probably vary, but I went on a 6-day trip last month, and it was fine. I had to answer some customer support, but nothing blew up. It was fine. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think like obviously, if you work for yourself, you can set your own hours, but there are kind of times where you wanna really like just go for it, and social interaction I think can help with productivity sometimes. Like when you're feeling burnt out, you're burnt out. You're probably not going to get anything done, so you can go hang out with people, and that might recharge you if you're a bit of an extrovert. But my philosophy is just like there are periods where you just want to work as much as possible and try to like make forward progress. And so I guess I'm in that chapter where I'm not really focusing on taking rest or anything. I'm just trying to work as much as I can. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll take more, vacations, I guess, in the future or holidays. But yeah, appreciate the questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I also have a form here. If your CRM not here. I've made money online. Here. So if you click this is a form where you can, I guess, give me some feedback about these videos and like what you might want to see. Specifically, this is like if I were to build a way to like a product for helping you kind of build your own SaaS, what that would look like. But yeah, I mean, you can also shoot me an email if you have any questions like this, and I could try to make a video. So sorry I didn't go super deep on these. I feel like a lot of these are kind of their own videos, but if you also refer back to, if your CRM looks broadly like this, then I'm about to blow your... If you refer back to this video, then I go much more in depth about a lot of these things. But yeah,